Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of CCM classes. And today we'll be talking on vMix. 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 So, before we go forward, what is vMix? vMix means video mixer. That means vMix is a video mixer. What does a video mixer do? What do we understand by video mixer? Video mixer is just a device that we use to mix our video, basically. So now, what makes vMix different from the artificial video mixer? Okay, so now, take a scenario when we have video mixer, that's our hardware video mixer. We will need to connect to some devices for it to be able to work. Unlike vMix serves more like a multi-function video mixer where we have the mixer as a software and we have some embedded attributes added to it to make it fine-tuned, sweet, and good to use for us. So with that being said, we'll be diving into our class. Yeah. So when you open your vMix for the first time, this is how your interface is. Don't worry about the bogus interface. It's something very easy and we are going to trash them fast. So first things first, we have our presets. So now you can create a new preset. You can open a preset. You can save. Then you can save as. Then last, what last means is open your last preset. That's, let's say I was working on a file, a vMix file, and I closed it. If I click on last and I open my vMix for another time, it's going to reload all the things that happened previously. So here, if you can see here, we have save area. You can see what is happening. Anything I do here is affecting my screen. So it's just a post grid line. And I tell you, you will not use this for any reason. So we're gonna leave it in none. Then we have this also just to put some things on the screen. Plus, sorry, you don't need it. So now again. And settings. Okay. So now that's if you want to adjust something. But don't worry, we'll come back to this part. So just leave that. Just know we have the presets. So now we have here full screen. Please take note of this part, full screen. So now, in Easy Worship, we have when we go to select outputs, we have secondary layer, we have primary, I said secondary layer, pardon me. We have secondary monitor or secondary outputs. We have primary outputs, we have custom. So now vMix, what happened in vMix is once you click on full screen, this full screen, it takes charge of your screen. Yes, I think you can see. So look at my screen now. My screen is now black. So now let's take for instance, I'm connected to another screen. Once you click on full screen, that's let's say you extended your screen. Automatically, anything that it shows on this blank part that my cursor is that is showing red, that's your output. That's what is going to be showing on your secondary one. So just like Easy Worship, you have preview and outputs. On vMix too, you have preview and outputs. So that's that about that. I believe you get it. If you don't get it, feel free to call my attention when you're watching the video. So now moving next, we're going to talk about, okay, before we go to the inputs, I want this class to be as fast as possible. That's one. And I want you to also be able to grab the mix as fast as possible. So that's the main aim you are paying. Mainly me are paying is because so that you can have in-depth class of this. This is going to be taught in the community, but never going in depth. So now we're gonna go in depth. So now when you click on basic, this is all vMix gives you. So for no reason should you go to basic because you are not a basic user. So we use advanced. Very good. So now let's fly. First things first is we come to settings. Let's know what vMix is going about before we start pressing anything. So settings. Ah, what's wrong with my vMix? Okay, just wait for it to load. To confirm you can see my screen. So, wow, this is. Can you see this? Wow, you can't, man. And I think, uh, okay, I think I just have to share my screen because you can't see everything on the remix. Okay, so yeah. Sorry about all this. Okay, now so once you click on settings, this is what you get. So now we're gonna be dissecting the settings together, guys. So now the first is display. Now this is theme. That means you can change the theme of your easy worship, um, of your vMix. Feel free to explore the one you want. Most people use black. That's charcoal. So I like being different, so I went for blue. So now your preview colors. Please try to follow my cursor so you understand. Now your preview colors is what happened in your preview. If you notice here in my is blue. That's why it's blue here because I changed it. Then output color is red. I change it to red. So if you want to change it, you can just come and click on the color and select the one you want. It's basically just to give it a color, nothing more. So feel free to dive and enjoy it. So now our frame rate, master frame rate. Now our master frame rate is the frame rate which our easy worship display will work with. So most times you can leave these stores default because they'll set them with your screen resolution. Or most times I use 450 or you're seeing me, I'm using NST 60. That's the frame rate. Now this is my output size 1920 times 1080. So now your output size is the output. I guess we get that. Then now please take note this settings applies to your vMix. Now it's not for streaming, not for streaming, not for connecting like no. It's called display, remember. So it's what the user are going to be seeing on your vMix. That's what it means. Then now aspect ratio is mine is normal. You can set yours to widescreen if you want this your screen. Oh, you can see my hand. If you want this, like now, this red part, you want it to be wide. Okay, let me just put it on widescreen so when I reload it, we'll see all that it does. Now, this is where I was saying your full screen coming to action. So now this is full screen. If you notice, you have display one, two, three, four. Obviously, I don't have those. I only have two. Now, what this means is when I click on full screen, my display two, that's now my extended screen, should show what is there. That's basically what it means. So now my input device, you can select how you want your input to look. Let me go for this. Let me just play with it so you guys can see what I'm saying. And that's that about this. Okay, so you can click show advanced settings. Now read. Advanced settings should not be changed unless instructed by your vMix support. So let's just click yes and see. So now let's move to outputs. Now please watch very well. Full screen outputs. All the overlays are on and the description is display one. Now display one is what you see here. Now full screen outputs all on display two. That's your screen. Now we have other outputs. We have four different outputs. So now you might not understand this, but when we move to NDI, you'll understand this. So now I'm going to show us how to install NDI and what NDI does. So now, okay, so now these are outputs. These outputs are for our display. So we can basically set them, like give them this kind of settings that we are seeing here. So now these outputs one to four are like additional outputs. These outputs we can connect them to NDI. These are the outputs that we can use to stream if we're not streaming directly from vMix. So now how do we maneuver this? Now there's a setting button close to all of them. So once you click on it, you see master, that's for sound. You can set your sound. Alpha channel if you need alpha channel, which I don't think you want. Resolution, you can set your resolution, but let's run on HD. SRT, this is for calling. Or for sorry, no, yeah, calling. You can either call or listen, but we don't need this. And this is our audio settings. And that's same thing that rules all. So now watch this part. External to this is our output to external to, and that's display two. So this output is two. Yeah, the output two. This is what output two do. Then we have three and four, and we have additional NDI outputs. So if you want to output NDI cameras, NDI audio, NDI calls, NDI inputs. So now you can now select this is your screen. How do you want it to look like? This is where you do your custom layouts, and that's all about output and NDI. We have options. These are something we don't want to come and touch. This is decoders. All these are not for us. So okay, now recording. Recording. So now here you can set the folder which you want your record to go, how you want it to be saved. You can write it here. Then memory buffer. How fast you want it to be saving. So now external outputs. I've been shouting output since, and I was saying external one, external two, and you guys might not really understand. So now this is our external two. Once we click on full screen, like I said earlier, it goes to our second screen. That's where the external comes in. So here you set your external output. So you have external one and two. If you see down here, you can see external where my cursor is. That's what it means. So now what this external does for us is it creates a screen, or it creates an output with vMix for us. Now take for instance, let's say um I want to okay, let's say you are using Zoom and you want to add a camera and you want the camera to show the output of your vMix. That means instead of just showing only the camera, you want to be putting some effects from your vMix and you want your vMix output to be put the camera. That's where external comes into place. So once you click on external, it becomes a camera. So when you go to vMix, you can add it. That's basically what your external can do for you. So now for audio, we don't need this audio here. This is already set. Our sample rate is 48. Okay, if you want to change your master bitrate per system is good. Guys, into channels, we record our audio through recording audio comes out through vMix audio. So like I said, all these are set. Audio source is our system microphone. So now our audio outputs, we can decide to set default outputs and enable outputs. Take for instance, we have um our master here as our default bus. We have master outputs. Now where your output goes out is you can set okay. Now you can set your output to go out from vMix and you can set it not to go anywhere. Now let me give for instance. Let's say if a sound enter my vMix now and I'm sending it live, it's going to be playing like okay, this is outputs, but most people we call it monitor. So now like you are monitoring the audio on your vMix. So if you don't want to monitor it, you can just turn this off. And that means when you output something, nobody hears anything. Then earphones also same thing. So that means these two can switch in between each other. That's why they are set to Windows default. So once you plug an earphone to your system, it's just switch. So now this A to G, and we have one and numerous number. So now 1 to 2 is okay. Now, so I think most people miss it here. Now, so you see some people choosing 3 and 4, 5 and 6, whereas in this place now, just like other screens, you just have only two outputs, and you're going to change the number to anything you want. It doesn't work. So now, what basically you do is leave it on 1 to, then come here. Now, when you come here, what you do is you can now enable them. So now notice in this master class, we have no inputs here. We just have master. But notice, okay, so let's just play. I click enable for the first one. I click enable for the second one. Let me take Focusrite for the third one. Let me take iPhone. Let me take speaker. Let me take Bluetooth. Let me take MixLR. Okay, so now we're done with our audio. Remember our audio, guys, because I'm doing the certain ones so that when we want to review. So now web controller. If you want to control your vMix from phone, watch guys. If you want to control your vMix from phone, this is what you will use. You just type in this URL. Then the website above can be used to control vMix from any device on the same network, including Android, iPad, mobile device. Like I just said, you can control it, but provided that your system and your phone is connected on the same network. I'm going to let me try to do it tutorial. Sorry guys, just give me a moment. I'm trying to do this video as fast as possible. I'm also trying to shuffle within office jobs, so please pardon me. Okay, guys. So now I want to my phone and my system are connected to the same network. If you don't notice, my system is connected to a network here. Okay, let me see if you can see this on the camera. My phone is also connected to the same network. So now I'm going to go to my browser. Sorry, I can't show you what is happening on my phone, but I think you can just do this on your own also. So I'm just going to type 192.168.0.190 semicolon 8080. So now the username here is admin, but there's no password. So now one thing you should know is you need to put a password. Now it's not as if it's not going to connect. That's why you need to put a password. No, 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 that's not the reason. Now, why are you putting a password? You might want to ask, why are you putting a password? So now you are putting a password because you don't want somebody else to log in. Somebody else, just come and take over your vMix production. So now imagine you're just streaming and somebody got access to the network, just connect and take over. So to prevent stuff like that, do you need to put a password to keep yourself on the safer position. So now I'm going to show you what my screen looks like. So as you can see, so now on what do we call this now? On vMix now, it's showing um so now you see I'm clicking this now. What do they write here? Allow access to the following pages without login. So now I'm going to try to reload this. Okay, so now if I click on controller, you can see now before it wasn't working because I didn't have access. So now you can so I'm clicking on live now. This media could not be loaded because either not supported. Okay, so close. So now this how you just flex your vmix. You flex your vmix. Because now I'm not showing anything, that's why we're not seeing plenty things now. Okay, so now see this. This is our output, our preview, quick play, cut, cross. So now you can just be switching. Oh, I don't know if you can see my phone, but you can just do it on your own phone also. You will just see basically same thing that we have here. You can just be switching your screens. So now just like how I said easy worship work in easy worship class. Um you have to set them like now if you have set them in your vMix before you can now use your phone to be just be operating them, you can just sit down and be switching. But if you don't have them set, you have to start adding things like that so you can just do that from your phone. So that's basically just it for the remote control. I'm gonna turn this off so that nobody can just come and log in without my permission. So now tally lights, basically don't need this for now. Yeah, I don't think we need it. So moving forward, to create shortcuts, you can create shortcuts. I'm just going to be creating one shortcut. Like I said, this is like a master class, so like you are grabbing everything in one. So now let's say I want to select R. So now what is the function? Oh, you can even find. Okay, let's say I say R. Okay, so now what function should R do for me? Now this is everything on your vMix. You can choose what your R should do. So now let me look for I want to do something very very easy. So now all this showing here is transition. That means take from preview to live. Okay, so let's say we choose fade as R or let's put it F so that it can be easy to remember. Or is there no F? Okay, there's F. So let's choose F for fade. Now duration milliseconds is 1 hour. Now input is preview. Mix is one. Yeah, sure. So all these are supposed to be this because now this is coming up because we are selecting a transition. So that's. Um. So now this is advanced. Okay. So I'm just going to show us what this does. Trigger the following keys in addition to this shortcut. So now let's say we set. Okay, let me use on let me click F here. Add. So now it's not adding. Okay. So now, but what's okay? Yeah, I can tell you why it's not adding. I'm doing a mistake. Yes. So now let's say I put N and N is working. Cool. Now this is what it means. Now let's say I've created a shortcut for N before because you can add multiple shortcuts. Let's say I've created a shortcut before for N, and now I'm creating a shortcut for F. So now what this advanced does means is trigger the following keys in addition to the shortcut. So now let's say I send F live. Now any shortcut that I've preset on N will just follow. I don't know if you understand, if you are getting me. Or let me just do it. Okay, so now let's say now we choose KF as our shortcut and the advance we have set N to trigger N. Okay. So now let's come here. Let me say add. So now let's add N. And let's say N should, yes. Let's say N should, what should N do? Okay, let's say N should start an animation. The title of the animation should be, we are testing. Let's take something like that. We are testing. So, okay. So now we have set two shortcuts to the F and the N. Look at them here. So activators, we don't need this. Scripting, for now, we're not scripting anything. Alerts, display alert on UI and must be there when volume goes up. If you want alerts, feedback, if it's black alerts, no recording alerts. If you want all these alerts, it's your choice. And this is our vMix that we are flexing. Okay, so that's that about that. Remember, I did plenty settings. So now let's watch them as I click OK. So yes, vMix will restart because we did changes. So let's wait for vMix to restart. Is it restarting? No, I did a mistake. Okay. Oh my. So now you now have to see my screen. Let me just turn this off first until our vMix is back. I hope we are getting knowledge from this. Special shout out to Ebenezer. Ebenezer was the one disturbing me. He was like, do our video, do our video. Want to do this on Sunday. Want to do this on Sunday. Nice one, Ebenezer. I like the push. I like the drive. It shows eagerness to learn, and I tell you in due time. So all there. So our vMix is back. I'm going to share back my screen. Now let's see what we have done because we did this together. So I'm gonna share my whole screen again so that you can see everything. Yep. So now this is our vMix. I know it's now looking kind of very different, but now we set them. Okay, so this is our screen. Remember when you put green and when you put pink, I still dilution color. Now notice it loaded last. Are you saying it loaded last? So that's when you restart your vMix, it loads last for you. So now Okay, so now let me just teach us this one very fast. I know that if I teach them in this thing, what's it they call them? Sorry, I'm speaking pidgin. In the general house, let's say it's by mistake. Okay, so now once you're seeing all these colors, once you right click on it, you can label them. So now let's say we label this um offering. We label red Thanksgiving. We label green, let's say praise and worship. Which other thing okay, let's say easy worship last Bible show. Sorry, I'm going to come to this, guys. Let's say camera. No. Should we put camera alone? Because let's not put camera because we might need camera in all. So there's no need segmenting camera. Okay, let's just use this for now. And you can also create more if you want to. So now look at what is happening. So now when I click offering, I have a fresh background. Okay, it's not changing now because I've not done anything. If I click Thanksgiving, fresh background, praise and worship, fresh background. So that means in easy worship, you can actually arrange your things. Like you can arrange, like now, let's say different flyers. Every Sunday they are giving you, okay, this flyer is for praise and worship. Thanksgiving, every Sunday we have Thanksgiving. Every first Sunday we have different Thanksgiving flyers. All free. They want to change design, all the rest. Then now your easy worship, your Bible show. That's like now for your different Bibles that you want to add to your easy worship and your vMix to come to your vMix. Sorry, Bible show to come to your vMix. So you can just do all those settings here. That's a sweet bonus to limit your stress. I know if you go to some churches, you'll be seeing this things, you'll be like, how? I don't know if you have seen people that flex vMix very well. This is what they do to make it look as if they are using paid, they might be using free, you might not know. So that's that about that. So now our audio. So now we know we added audios. Now look at the different audios we added. We added A, B, C, A, B, D, E, F, G. So now this is what happens to the audio we all added. I'm going to play a song so that we all fly together. So let me just add it both. Sorry, I don't. My system might be slow because my storage is very full. We had a program last Friday, so I've not finished editing the videos, so I cannot delete them. And it's a very large file. But nevertheless, it doesn't stop us from working. So now I'm going to use this song. You know, you can use a video. Let's say you have a video and the rest of it that way. A video that has sound. So I'm just using only the sound version of it. So I'm gonna use okay, let me use this song from Hillsong. Okay, so added my song. Don't worry guys, I'm going to still come back to inputs. I just want to do this example so that we all can fly. So as you can see now, let's say I send this song live. Um so let's use our settings. So remember we set F to fade to screen. Okay, let me send blank to screen back. So we have blank in our screen. Oh shit. We have blank on our screen. So now I want to go live and I'm pressing F. Oh, you can see my screen. Okay, let me see. I don't know if you can see my hand, but if I press F, now watch the screen. That switched to that's faded by itself because we set the shortcut. Now there's no text, that's why nothing is coming up. If we had the text should have just come. Now our song is playing in only M. So now okay. I think this is the very perfect. Okay, please permit me to reduce the song because it's coming out on my iPhone. So oh Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Now the song is still playing, as you can see, but I've removed it from master. Now, once I click on this, it turns back to master. Or what I can do is I can click on master. That means I've removed the song from master and I put it, it's still playing. Now the song is playing, but it's not coming out on master. Now, one thing you need to know that this part reads your master. Okay, no, it doesn't only read your master. It reads what you set. How do I mean? So now this is master. If I click master, you see it's reading here. Now I don't want it to read master. Now if I click A is reading here, but it's not reading here. So now let's say I want to change this part. I don't want it to read master. I want it to read a bus. So now this is our mixed buses. I'm going to go to these mixed buses later. Now, okay, I want it to read A. I don't want it to read master. So now I'm going to go back to settings. Remember we did this together. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to send it to me. Ebenezer said the word let us use the new church software in our churches on Sunday. So I want us to achieve that goal. So that's one of the reasons I'm actually doing this video now. So now we're going to go back to audio outputs. So now default bus for new inputs. Okay, no, this is not where we need. This is why this is where it's supposed to be. So now what we need to do is we're going to come to output, right? Am I on point? Yes. Now our audio channel is master. That's why we are getting the master sound. So now we're going to change it to bus A and okay. My ear. Oh. So now it doesn't read here, but now what this means is okay. I think I should have just explained before I went live. Sorry, let me just give the explanation once and for all. So okay, so now this is it. Back to our audio outputs. Sorry, our outputs rather. Um, output one. So now, which output is called output one? Output one is the output that gives us sound for record, sound for streaming, and sound for our external. Please note this part. This is why this is very important. Our output one is the output that gives us sound. Okay, not really sound now. Okay, sound is something that you said. But our output one is the output responsible. Yes, that's the word. Our output responsible for recording, for streaming, and for our external screen. That's external one. So you can notice that we have external one and external. So it's the one responsible for external one. So now this settings here is we can set the audio. Now this is the output settings here. So now you can select any bus that you want to. Mostly, if you notice, we just have only bus one and two here. So because our output is set to one and two, we are going to tweak that very soon. But now let's say we choose bus A and okay. So now what it means is if we don't set sound to our bus A here, anything we do, sound will not come out in our record, sound will not come out in our streaming and in our external because we do not toggle A and we have removed the sound from master. So now, just like your mixer in church, that we have a separate. That's now I'm explaining the mix versus guide. Just like our mixer in church, that we have a master where we plug for the house. That's for the people facing the church. We have a special speaker for pastor. We have one speaker for instrumentalists. We have one speaker for drummer, and all of them are hearing different things. These are mixed buses. That means you are sending different sound to different people on different levels. So that's the same thing. So now, guys, I'm coming to audio apps because I want this to. Um, so let me change this to 3 and 4, of which I don't think is going to work. 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9, 10. Uh, these are output. Okay, let's set it this way and see how it comes out. So now I have to reset vMix for this to take place. So guys, just allow this to reset and okay, I have to stop sharing again. Okay, so while waiting for vMix to come on, if you are watching this video, please remember this is not supposed to be shared. Like it's not supposed to be shared. I believe you are saying why you paid. I believe you are saying why you paid. I could do this for the general house, but now someone said he has been using vMix. Why does he have to pay? So some people are just configured their mind not to learn. So there are some things you just don't pick on. So I'm going to share again. Yeah, I'm going to share full screen, right? Yeah. Are you guys seeing my screen? Uh, okay, yes, we are on point. So now we are back here, and if I click my master, the song comes onto my ear. Now you might want to ask, why do we have only just two inputs? Now you notice I click on the input and sound is coming out from this three. But what about the rest? Are there no sound? I mean, don't you think you're supposed to ask? Well, this is what I explained earlier. If you were listening, and I said the outputs or the inputs that we have is just two. The rest things that we are selecting were output and not inputs. How? I'm getting you confused, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a sweet illustration. I'm going to go back to where it all started from. Uh, Sorry guys, my business is actually taking time to load. Okay, now so we are back to our audio outputs. So now I'm going to change all this to enabled and forget all the medicine that I just wrote. I'm going to click OK. Ah, the fact that this have to restart again. Oh, let me just leave it. If we come back, we'll all say um so while waiting for our release. Okay, our remix is back. And yep, how do I do this? Just click on the number you want to expand. That's everything. So now it doesn't change, it doesn't concern what we do, we just have only AP. And now this is because we have only two outputs. That's basically so adding all this doesn't just count. Your A and your B is okay. So I believe we are all on point on that. You understand how I tweak this. So now I'm going to play the song. It's coming on A and B. If I don't want it to come out in the master, I will click here. If I don't want it to come in A, I'll click here. If I don't want it to come in B, I'll click there. So now, yes, I want to show this button now. Toggle automatically audio mixing for inputs. Now, what this does is, if I click on it and I go live, the song start playing. If I leave live, the song stops. Now, let's take for instance, this is now your audio input. Let's say this song is your audio input, like your microphone that you're using for live stream. And you now basically go and click on toggle. The moment that it's not on the screen, automatically you don't have audio. So now, if you are playing a video live, that's when you click on toggle, so that when you remove it from the main screen, it toggles it out. But if you are using like your audio, the audio that will serve for your live stream, you don't need to toggle this. So now what this thing means is once it is playing anywhere, either is home, is live, is not live, you are hearing your song. Are we on point? Are we flowing? I don't know, am I making sense? Guys, am I making sense? Um, okay, so we have, let's talk about this button. I know I'm not going to the input. I want to go to the input class because we have plenty inputs to talk about. Okay, so let me talk about the overlay. We have four overlays, and these are them 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So now what our overlays does is they come and stay on top our anything that is on our screen. Just come and stay on top of it. So I'm going to show us an example of the overlay, so you don't have to worry. This is where you just do your overlay settings for these buttons here. So now I want to put them into test so that we all see them because I know this class is taking a lot of time now. Oh, and I thought you could finish this in 1 hour. I was dreaming though. Okay, now so let's use headline and the description that is here by default. So now what's this is what happened. I just need to put another background. So a quick info, guys. If you want to add, well, I've deleted it. Yeah. So a quick info, guys. If you want to add a blank screen, you just come to this part, you click on this icon here, and you select blank. It gives you a blank screen. Yep. So that's that. So now, okay, now back to this. Let's say I send this picture live. My audio is playing. This is my streaming audio is playing. Remember, I'm using A for streaming, so I'll leave A on, and this is where I monitor, not from here, because this monitor is just for our master. So now, let's say I want to overlay. This is overlay. Now, if I click on one here, it comes on it. So now, this is where you do your mini stream. Don't say no earcap. This is overlay. So now you can now set which overlay you want, what you want on each overlay. So now this is one part of the overlay. Another overlay that you can, and now the sweet thing is you can on these four overlays together. That means if you have four different things that you want to send on the stage at once, you can send them. Now another overlay that I will want to you guys to know about is, yeah, I call it rotating logo. Sha. I don't know what you guys call it. So now I'm gonna select an image. So this is why you need your logo in PNG. So and this is it though. So now let's say I want to put it on four. Oh, sorry, this is not it's supposed to be under. That's the blank. So now this is the logo. As you can see it here. So I'll just click on, and you can see it's on the screen and it's rotating. that's how that one is going to be. So when I click one anytime, it's going to bring on this because I've used it on one. And if I click four, it's going to bring my logo. And you can leave it there permanent to the end of the program by streaming. And that's that about our overlay. So come to multicoder is if you want to record each of our inputs one by one. If you want to record each of our inputs one by one, that's when you use um multi-encoder. Except for that, you don't need it. So oh shit. Going back, we're going to talk about now. Okay, no, recording is not good. Let's talk about streaming.